This video is brought to you by Bantio TCG.
What is up guys, Kaguyaman here, and today I'm here with another Digimon deck profile. Today we'll be going over the Puppet deck from EX-09. So with the support from, the Kaguyamon support from EX-09, the deck is a lot stronger now, and there's a lot more stuff we can do. And the new line we got is actually pretty strong, but since the new Tamer that we got is not at Arisa, we have to kind of switch things up a little bit with level 4s. But without further ado, let's get right into the deck profile. So for the Tamers, we are running 4 of the Kaguyamon. This is the one that on attack, if you have another Digimon on the board, you can draw one. So pretty good just for digging through the deck and having a little more draw power. I think it's a bit more useful than minus security on your opponent's security. So, yep. For the level 6s, we're running 4 of the Kaguyamon. This is a new card, so I'm testing it at 4, but if you want to run this at 3 and then the Syndromon at 3, you can. But I think this Kaguyamon is really strong. It's on both turns, all of your puppet trait Digimon gets Alliance as well as blockers, so you'll be able to, it's an offensive and a defensive card, which is really nice, because then you can use your puppets as a token. And not a token, you're going to use your puppets as a blocker, and then you'll also be able to, whenever your Digimon are deleted, you can delete one of your opponent's lowest Digimon, and then at the end of your turn you can also play a level 4 or lower puppet trait Digimon from your trash without paying its cost, which is really important now because we have some pretty strong on-play abilities for our level 4s now. So this card is just really strong for the whole deck. So we're running 4 of those, and then for the other level 6, we're running 2 of the Syndromon from the starter deck. But if you want to run the Syndromon from the EX-7, you can as well. I'm not running any of these, but I think the 4 cost to Digivolve is a little bit much for it. But I think being able to do a neg 6k is nice sometimes. But this kind of fulfills the roles for it as well, because you'll be able to pop a Digimon whenever another Digimon is deleted. So kind of has the same function, but this Syndromon is pretty nice as well. One, it's a more budget option, and also it's got a it's got built-in blocker, so you don't have to have the Scream on the board for it to be a blocker. And then also on evolution, you can spawn 2 tokens instead of just 1. Though it doesn't have a start of turn, so you can't spawn turns afterwards. But in this current meta, it's very easy for your bodies to get removed pretty fast. So being able to spawn 1 at the start of your main phase, being able to spawn 1 at the start of your main phase of return isn't too practical. But yeah, you can probably run 1/1 if you want, or 3 Syndromons, 2 of these and 1 of these, and 3 Kaguyamons if you want. I think the ratio is pretty flexible. Running this one does give you a little bit more options in terms. Oh, not this one. Running this one does give you a little bit more options in terms of playing around with the tokens and having a DP minus. But I think if you want to be more consistent, this is kind of the way that I like it. So yeah, we're running 4-2. And then for level 5s, we're running 4 of the new level 5. This is the Kaguyamon. So this is on play and on evolution. You can, by leading one of your tokens or other puppet trait Digimon, this Digimon may Digivolve into a Digimon with puppet trait in your hand without paying its cost. And then on both players' turn, whenever this Digimon will leave the battery area, other than by your effects, you can delete one of your tokens or other puppet trait Digimon and it doesn't leave. So it gives protection. Both your level 5s will give protection, so it's pretty good for that. But yeah, I think being able to just skip right into your Kaguyamon is really nice, or Syndromon. And we're also running 3 of the Chaperomon. Chaperomon has Overclock, and it's also on evolution. You can play a level 3 Digimon with puppet from your hand with a paying cost. So this card's not as good because you might not always have the fuel in your hand to play the level 3, but it's nice if you can. So that's why I'm running this at 3, because consistency wise I think the Kaguyamon is a little bit better, but both works. You know, sometimes you might not have a body on the board for you to delete as well. So you know, I think both have their purposes, but they're both good. They're both good in their own way. And yeah, running 3, 4, and for the level 4s, we are running 4 of the Shushimon. This is the promo Shushimon from the tournament promo packs. So this one is really good because it is a 4 cost. So if you combo this with the Midai, you'll be able to play it for 1 cost. And then on play, it also works with the Kaguyamon obviously, because on play and on evolution, you can play a familiar token, and at the end of your opponent's turn, you have to delete that token. So that's pretty good for that. And then also, whenever your familiar tokens get deleted, your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3k. So it's kind of like a bomb that attaches to your opponent in a way. And you can just use this to get rid of floodgates and whatnot. And then the inherit is a barrier, so if this Digimon will be deleted by battle, you can charge the top card of security and then delete it. So another layer of protection, which is really good. And it's also got a security ability, which is at the end of the battle that you can play this card with the player's cost. So yeah, overall, really solid card. I actually forgot this card existed until I was searching through my puppet stuff. So this is really good, just because on play and on evolution you can just get a token, and then you can go back into the the Kaguyaman, and then you can pop that token to go into the Kaguyamon or Centralmon. So yeah, that's ideally what you want to go into. And this being a recurring card, so for example, whenever you end up turn, spawn this, you get a token. You get two bodies on the board, and that's 2 more bodies for you to do your to block an alliance with. So pretty good. Mainly you're gonna be blocking with a familiar, and then if this thing still lives, you can block with this as well. So overall, it's pretty good. They also serve as pop tokens for if your opponent removes this from the board, tries to remove this from the board, you can pop these instead using the inherit. So yeah, overall, very solid card. I think this card is one of the best cards in the deck to function. So I think if you don't have this, try to pick this as soon as possible. Alright, next we are running 4 of the Shushimon from the starter deck. I'm running this just because it is another security bomb, so it's pretty good if your opponent hits into it, because we're actually running quite a lot of security bombs in this deck. So if your opponent hits into this, you can play a level 4, sorry, cost 4 or lower Liberator trait card from your hand or trash with the player's cost. So you can play Tamers or Digimon. You even play the promo Shushimon because it's 4 cost. So it's pretty good for that. And since we are running so many Midais, I don't think the Shushimon that plays the Arisa for free is as good. So we're running these instead. But there's also other options that you can run instead if you want. You can also run the other promo, the one that comes with jamming. But I don't think that one is as good either, just because it is a 5 cost. So you will kind of not be able to play it with this card's ability, and it being jamming isn't great at an turn either, because you won't be able to attack with it. So jamming kind of loses meaning. So I think having a security bomb and being able to activate abilities on play is just more useful in this build. So we're running that. Next, we're running 2 copies of the Kaguyamon. Kaguyamon is the new level 4 running in the deck from EX-09. We're running 2 just because it's not actually super useful on play and on evolution. On evolution and on deletion, you can trash a card from your hand, and one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 4,000 for the turn. So it's not actually super useful. It is useful on evolution if you want to pop a floodgate in case your opponent is playing a floodgate that stops you from playing Digimon by abilities. In the case, this is really good. But for the most part, I think it's nice to have. Especially inherit ability is pretty good. Its ability is whenever one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you can delete one of your other Digimon and end an attack. Which again, with Kaguyamon's ability, you can spawn a lot of bodies on the board, so you can use this to just end attacks, which is really nice. And yeah, so it's a really good niche card, but you don't really need to run it at 4. If you have space, you can run this at 3 if you want, but I think 2 is good just because space is kind of tight, so I'm running this at 2. And we're running quite a lot of consistency boosters, so I'm not really too worried about not hitting my level 4s. So I think 10 is fine. Yeah. All right, next for the level 3s, we're running 4 of the Shushimon from EX-09. This is the one that gets -1 cost on evolution if you digivolve into a puppet trait. So pretty easy to fill. And then we're also running 4 of the Searcher Shushimon from ST19. This is one that lets you search for a puppet trait as well as a Liberator trait. So that's pretty much all the deck. So it's very, very strong Searcher. And then we're also running 4 of the Hanimon. So Hanimon is the new level 3. This card's also really, really good. On play, you can trash a card from your hand to return 1 Digimon with puppet trait from your trash to your hand, which is another reason why I'm not super worried about not hitting my level 4s, because you can kind of reuse them. So you can put some useless things that in your hand that you don't need, and just grab back the pieces that you need. And you can use this with Kaguyamon's ability. So you can use Kaguyamon to play this out, and then you can set up for your next turn if you already have if you don't have the resources that you need for the next turn. So yeah, it's really good. And the inherent ability is also whenever one of your opponent's Digimon attacks, you can pop one of your other Digimon to end that attack. So pretty good. I really, really like the Hanimon. All right, now let's move on to the Tamers. So running 3 of the Memory Setter. This card is still good. This card combos with the Arisa pretty well, in my opinion. Because if you have this on the board already, you can kind of use Mirai. Actually, let's go over our ability first. You should just use Rest. Whenever one of your puppet trait Digimon played by ability, you can rest this Tamer to give it Rush. So it's pretty straightforward. And then the Mirai. First off, it's a Searcher, so on play you can reveal the top 3 cards of your deck and you can add a puppet trait or Liberator trait from them to your hand, and then put the rest at the bottom. And then when any of your Digimon digivolve into puppet trait Digimon, by returning this Tamer to the bottom of the deck, you can play a Arisa or a puppet trait card from your hand, reduce the cost by 3. So really, really strong. If you have this on the board already and you digivolve, you can use this to spawn another Digimon from your hand and then give it Rush, so you can use it to attack. So you can use this to kind of do chip damage, and then you can just go combo. If you have your Kaguyamon or Senjomon, they serve different purposes because your Kaguyamon can use this to take chunks off your opponent's security if they have like a lot. If they only have like 1 security left, you can use this to attack, and then you can overclock, pop something overclock, and then go for game. So yeah, there's a lot of really interesting plays that you can do with this deck, and Arisa enables all of them just because, not Arisa, Mirai. Well, I guess Arisa to a certain extent because you need her to get the Rush. So you can kind of use these to just spawn smaller bodies on the board to do chip damage, and then you can take big chunks. Or if you can do big chunks with the Kaguyamon, and if they have no security left, you can still, if you evolve, you can still use this to pop this card, go back to the bottom, and then you can play a puppet to go for game if you have enough memory left. So yeah, really, really strong. Next, we're also running 2 of the Arisa from EX-09. This one is the memory gain. If your opponent has a Digimon, you can gain memory. And then on all turns, whenever your token or Digimon with puppet trait is deleted, you can suspend this Tamer to play a level 3 Digimon with puppet trait from your hand with advanced cost. So this card also lets you combo with the Arisa to help you play a Digimon and do chip damage. So very strong. I think the Arisa Tamers are just very strong in general. And with Mirai acting as a consistency booster, it's also really good. Because your opponent will always be aware of these, because if you have this on the board and you have these, whenever you digivolve, you can potentially go for another hit. So it's really, really nice. And then for the options, we're running 4 of the trainings. So this one just helps you grab Tamers as well as Digimon. So we're running this. I'm not running memory boosts just because I feel like the Mirai kind of works the same way. So for 3 costs, you can search your deck, you get top 3, and then you can grab a Digimon from one of the relevant Digimon from them. So it kind of functions the same purpose. So that's why I'm running 4 instead. But if you want to run memory boost, you probably can. You can probably cut out these and run the yellow memory boost if you want. That's definitely okay. This gives you a little bit more variety if you want to diversify your searching cards. But I quite like the running 4 the trainings here. And then we're also running 2 of the scrambles. So scramble is also pretty good in this deck just because it helps you manage your memory a little bit better, especially if you if you don't have that much memory. If opponent's trying to choke you out, that's not right. Memory choke you. You can, let's see. If you have this, you spawn a token, and then you only have 2 memory left. You can always just do this to go into the Kaguyamon, and then go into your Kaguyamon. By popping this, and then it's more memory efficient that way. I think these scrambles will help make your life a little bit easier. That's why I'm running at 2, and it's also good at retrieving your combo pieces. So I quite like it for that. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, though. I think overall pretty fun deck to play. I think the deck is very, very strong now. Like a lot of times you can just go from, for example, if you have the Hanimon and you have a training or something, because like if you have this and you have a memory setter, you don't even need the training. If you have a copy of Scramble in your hand, you can just go. Having this or having this both works, because they both help you reduce the evolution cost. But if you have the Shumon here, and then you go into Shushimon for 1, and then you spawn a token, you still have 2 memory left. So you can either crack and just go into this for 1, or crack your training goods for 1, or you can play your scramble and digivolve in this for 2. Then you can pop this and go into this. So it's very, very memory efficient, very, very strong. And while you're at it, you can also pop a floodgate, and then you can still do your plays. So yeah, I think the deck's really, really fun. I think the deck has a lot of potential, and I just really like it. I like this a lot more than the Vortex deck. I think that deck got some more support, but I think the quality of support that we got in this set is a little bit better than the support that we got in previous sets for the Vortex. But I think we're going to get a Centromon Ace pretty soon. So yeah, except for that as well. But and the deck, I personally, I just think the deck visually it just looks a lot better as possible. So yeah. Anyway, but if you guys want to build this deck of your own, feel free to go to Banto TGG. There's a new coupon code this time around. It's Karuyaman 0725. If you guys want to build this deck, use Karuyaman 0725 for 3% off checkout on all orders. So it's not just Digimon. They're also doing Lorcana now. So if you're interested in buying Lorcana, you can also do that. And they're selling an English Lorcana, so it's not Japanese Lorcana. If you're in the States and you're itching to play some Lorcana, you can just buy off Banto TCG. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for more Digimon content. I am very excited to play the stuff from this set, so I'm also working on the Machine Dramon deck. I'm working on Machine Dramon deck. I'm working on the Alter S deck. And I also built the Abdomon deck. So I have 3 other decks that I'm currently testing out, and afterwards I might work on the Wind Guardian later. But yeah, very excited. I haven't played a lot of Digimon recently, so I'm trying to fix that. But that's pretty much it for you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Karuyaman, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!